6 lucky numbers to focus and get rich on Saturday, the 9th of August 2025 Buddhist Teachings. This Saturday, August 9th, 2025, isn't just another date on the calendar. According to Buddhist insight and energetic wisdom, it's a rare moment when inner alignment and outer opportunity come together. And certain numbers, sacred, symbolic, and surprisingly practical, can help guide your energy, sharpen your focus, and open the door to real abundance. But here's the key. This isn't about chasing money at any cost. It's about attracting wealth by living with clarity, joy, and purpose, just as the Buddha taught. In this video, we'll explore 6 powerful numbers, each holding its own spiritual frequency and grounded lesson, helping you not just get rich, but stay rich in the ways that truly matter, in peace, wisdom, and well-being. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's uncover the hidden meaning behind these numbers and how they can help you align with abundance this very Saturday. Because when the mind is still and intention is pure, fortune begins to follow. 1. Number 3. Joy, creativity, and expression. The number 3 carries a deep and joyful vibration, often seen as a symbol of creativity, lightness, and the freedom to express your true self without fear or pressure. In Buddhist teachings, joy is not something shallow or fleeting. It is a form of wisdom, a natural outcome of living in harmony with one's inner truth. This number is linked to Jupiter, the planet of growth, knowledge, and expansion, reminding us that when we create from a space of joy, we also invite abundance into our lives. But this is not the kind of abundance born from constant struggle or relentless striving. It's the gentle, steady kind that flows when we are fully present and aligned with who we really are. The Buddha once said, "Happiness comes when your work and words are of benefit to yourself and others," pointing to the deep connection between joy and spiritual fulfillment. In modern life, we're often taught that success must be earned through stress or sacrifice, but the number 3 whispers a different truth, that true prosperity comes when you dare to be joyful, to create freely, and to share your voice without shame. It is an invitation to reclaim joy not as a luxury you can't afford, but as a powerful spiritual practice that opens doors to abundance in all forms, financial, emotional, and spiritual. So, as you move through this Saturday, August 9th, let number 3 guide you toward lightness and honest expression. Sing, write, dance, or speak whatever it is that allows your soul to breathe, and know that in doing so, you're aligning yourself with the very energy that attracts wealth and well-being. Just as the lotus rises unstained from muddy water, so too can your joyful spirit lift you beyond limitations toward a life of authentic richness. 2. Number 5. Courage and breakthrough. Number 5 is a powerful symbol of courage and breakthrough. It shows up in your life when you're standing at the edge of something new, something exciting, but maybe also a little scary. In Buddhist wisdom, life is constantly changing like a flowing river, and number 5 carries the energy of movement, transformation, and the courage to embrace that change. It's connected with Mercury, the planet of thought and communication, which means it brings not just action, but insight, the clarity to understand what must change, and the courage to speak your truth. When number 5 appears, it's often a gentle inner nudge that says, "You might not feel ready, but the time has come to take a step forward." And here's something important. This number doesn't ask you to leap blindly. It asks you to stretch, inch by inch, beyond your comfort zone, where real growth happens. Think of someone like Laura, a single mom from Ohio, who had always dreamed of starting her own online business but held back out of fear. On a Saturday, she meditated on the number 5, reflecting on its energy of breakthrough. That same week, she took a small but bold step, signing up for a course she had been avoiding for months. Fast forward to today, Laura's business is thriving, and she credits that first move, inspired by number 5, as her turning point. So ask yourself, what shift have you been putting off, and what would it feel like to take just one step toward it? Let number 5 be your guide this Saturday, August 9th, 2025. Open your heart to change, trust your intuition, and let your actions, no matter how small, become your new beginning. Remember, the Buddha taught that the journey toward awakening begins with one mindful step. The key lesson here is this: don't wait to feel completely ready. Trust that growth often starts with just enough courage to begin. 3. Number 8. Abundance through balance and discipline. Have you ever noticed how certain numbers seem to show up in your life over and over again on receipts, clocks, or even license plates, and felt like they carried a deeper message? Now, I want to share with you one such number that holds immense meaning, especially as we approach Saturday, August 9th, 2025. That number is 8, and in Buddhist wisdom, it carries powerful energy for abundance, balance, and discipline. If you've been searching for a sign to stay focused on your path toward wealth, both spiritual and material, then this may be it. The number 8, when turned sideways, becomes the symbol of infinity. Think about that for a moment: endless possibility, limitless potential. But in Buddhism, 8 isn't just about boundlessness. It's directly connected to the Noble Eightfold Path, which is the Buddha's guide to a meaningful and liberated life. Right speech, right livelihood, right mindfulness. These are not just lofty ideas, but practical tools for success that's grounded in integrity. True wealth, after all, isn't built by chasing quick rewards or by taking what isn't ours. It's grown patiently, like a tree that takes root before it bears fruit. The number 8 calls you to take structured and intentional steps, just like laying down bricks, one by one, to build a foundation that lasts. It invites you to be calm in your actions, clear in your thoughts, and consistent in your efforts. So, ask yourself, am I moving through life with mindful purpose, or am I rushing toward goals without a plan? The Buddha once said, "A jug fills drop by drop." This is the energy of number 8. It reminds you that your consistent actions, no matter how small, are creating the future you dream of. As you move through this powerful Saturday, reflect on how you can invite more balance into your financial life and focus on building long-term prosperity instead of short-term gain. In this way, you align not just with luck, but with Dharma, the natural law of harmony and truth. Are you ready to walk the path with clarity and discipline, and trust that the universe is supporting you every step of the way? If you've watched up to this point, you're already aligning with the energy of abundance and focus for Saturday, August 9th, 2025. Comment below with lucky focus to affirm your intention to attract wealth and clarity through these 6 powerful numbers. Don't click away just yet. There's more insight ahead, rooted in Buddhist wisdom to help guide your journey to prosperity. Stay until the end to unlock the full potential of this special day. 4. Number 11. Spiritual alignment and awareness. Number 11 is not loud or flashy. Instead, it moves quietly, like the subtle breeze that gently nudges you toward clarity without demanding your attention. Often seen as a symbol of mirrored balance and synchronicity, this number tends to appear when you're becoming more attuned to life, not just what's on the surface, but what's beneath it. In Buddhist teachings, such moments of awakening are deeply valuable. 11 is associated with spiritual alignment and awareness, a call to live mindfully, to notice the signs around you, and to trust your inner knowing. It's like walking a peaceful path in nature at first. You may not notice how much more alive everything feels, but slowly you begin to see the harmony in it all. As the Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within," do not seek it without. Number 11 reflects that same message. Your growth may not be dramatic, but it is real and deeply meaningful. When life feels uncertain or when doubt begins to creep in, this number serves as a quiet confirmation that you are still on the right path. In the chaos of modern life, when we're constantly pulled in different directions by responsibilities, technology, or self-doubt, seeing 11 is a moment to pause, breathe, and return to presence. It's a reminder that your intuition is more than just a feeling. It's the voice of your deeper wisdom, and it's worth listening to. Whether you notice it on a digital clock or in something more personal, take number 11 as a spiritual nudge to align your actions with your higher purpose. Trust the timing of your journey. In the words of Thich Nhat Hanh, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Let number 11 guide you gently back to that understanding, and as you walk through this special Saturday, allow yourself to walk not just forward, but inward. Because sometimes the greatest success begins with the quiet decision to follow your heart. 5. Number 17. Trust in intuition and quiet confidence. Let's talk about the power of the number 17 and what it can mean for your life, especially this Saturday, August 9th, 2025. A date full of quiet potential for those walking the path of awareness and growth. Number 17 brings together the energy of one, which speaks of fresh starts and bold steps forward, and the wisdom of 7, a number deeply connected with intuition and spiritual insight. Together, they form a message that might reach you when you're standing at a fork in the road, perhaps in your career, finances, or relationships where the next step isn't entirely clear. But rather than panic or rush into choices, number 17 calls you to pause, listen within, and move with calm confidence. It's like a whisper from the universe that says, "You already know, just trust it." One subscriber of The Journey of Wisdom, Sarah from Colorado, once shared how she kept seeing the number 17 during a difficult decision about leaving her secure job to start a wellness business. She meditated daily, observed silence each morning, and took small but steady steps. Within a year, her side business grew into her full-time calling. The number 17 wasn't a magic trick, it was a signal for her to trust herself more deeply. So, if you're seeing this number or feel drawn to it this Saturday, ask yourself, what area of my life needs more trust and less fear? Am I giving my inner voice a chance to speak before making decisions? When you act from a place of inner peace and not from outside pressure, you invite true success, not just financially, but in alignment with who you really are. 6. Number 66. Harmonizing inner peace and outer wealth. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath now. Imagine a number not just as a digit, but as a key to inner harmony and outer prosperity. On Saturday, August 9th, 2025, there's one number I want you to gently focus on, 66. This isn't just any number, it's a master number, meaning it carries the doubled energy of the sacred number 6, which in Buddhist wisdom is deeply connected to both compassion and balance. Number 66 calls on the power of the 6 Paramitas, or 6 perfections, core teachings that guide us to live a life of virtue and clarity, generosity, discipline, patience, joyful effort, meditation, and wisdom. These 6 are not abstract ideas. They are daily practices, and when embodied, they help you find the sweet spot between spiritual growth and material wealth. Think about it. Can you really feel wealthy if your heart is anxious or your mind is always craving more? The Buddha once said, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship." In this spirit, try this mindful ritual. Write the number 6 on a piece of paper and place it under your pillow for 7 nights. Each night, journal 6 things you're deeply grateful for, yes, even the little things, and then write down 6 things you wish to manifest in your life. As you do this, ask yourself, what kind of abundance am I truly seeking? Is it money, or is it the peace and confidence to know you're already enough? By turning inward and honoring both your dreams and your current blessings, you align with the energy of 66, where spiritual awareness meets grounded action. Stay with this thought. The universe responds best when your intentions are pure and your efforts consistent. So, what will you begin calling in, starting this Saturday? Now that you've discovered the 6 lucky numbers for Saturday, August 9th, 2025, take a moment to breathe and reflect. These numbers are a guide, but true wealth begins from within. Comment "Mindful Wealth" below if you're ready to focus your energy not just on quick success, but lasting prosperity. Stay with us, because next we'll explore a powerful question. Why do some people get rich quickly, but not sustainably? The answer might just shift the way you see wealth forever. The hidden reason quick wealth doesn't last. Buddhist insight. Have you ever wondered why some people strike it rich almost overnight, only to lose it just as fast? It might look like success on the surface, a booming business, viral fame, a sudden windfall, but underneath, something crucial is often missing. When wealth comes quickly but the heart and mind aren't prepared to hold it, that fortune becomes like sand slipping through open hands. In Buddhism, we're taught that everything arises from causes and conditions. Quick wealth may come from the right timing or even good karma from the past, but without wisdom, right intention, and ethical grounding, it rarely lasts. So, why is fast success so fragile? And what makes wealth truly sustainable, not just in the bank, but in the soul? Let's explore the deeper reasons through the lens of Buddhist wisdom. Number 1. Lack of right view. Many people who achieve sudden wealth fall into a dangerous illusion. They begin to believe that their success is solely the result of their own brilliance, timing, or talent, forgetting the countless conditions that came together to make it possible. This false confidence is a result of lacking right view, samadhi, the first step on the Noble Eightfold Path. When someone fails to see things as they truly are, impermanent, interdependent, and subject to change, they may cling tightly to wealth, fame, or power, assuming these things will last forever. Yet, the Buddha taught that all conditioned things arise and pass away, and to ignore this is to live in delusion. In this way, sudden success becomes a double-edged sword. While it brings temporary pleasure, it can also distort one's perception, leading to arrogance, overconfidence, and poor decisions. With right view, one sees the rise and fall of all things. Without it, one clings blindly to what is temporary. This quote reminds us that without a deep understanding of impermanence and cause and effect, we are likely to mistake fleeting fortune for permanent security. In today's fast-paced world, especially with stories of overnight millionaires or viral entrepreneurs, it's easy to think that quick success is the ultimate goal. But what often gets overlooked is the spiritual and emotional grounding necessary to handle such success wisely. In Buddhism, this is where right view becomes so essential. It helps us remember that wealth, like all things, comes and goes. And it's not the possession of riches but our attachment to them that causes suffering. As the Dalai Lama wisely said, "We can never obtain peace in the outer world until we make peace with ourselves." Without inner clarity, rapid wealth can create inner chaos. People who lack this clarity may invest recklessly, live beyond their means, or treat others with superiority, all while assuming the good times will never end. This is how many rise fast and fall hard, not because wealth is evil, but because they never pause to examine their relationship with it. They never asked, "What is this success for?" Or, "Am I becoming a better person through it?" In the absence of right view, even good fortune becomes a trap. Therefore, for those between 30 and 65 who are reflecting on money, success, and stability, the message is clear. Cultivate a deeper understanding before chasing more. Wealth is not inherently wrong. It's how we perceive and use it that determines whether it brings peace or problems. Just as a tree with shallow roots topples easily in a storm, so too does a person whose riches outgrow their wisdom. In our modern lives, where social media constantly compares us and consumer culture urges us to want more, it's vital to step back and ask ourselves, what do I truly need to be content? The Buddha said, "Contentment is the greatest wealth." So if you find yourself striving for more, pause and reflect on whether your view is aligned with reality or clouded by delusion. The clarity of right view isn't just a Buddhist concept, it's a compass for living a balanced, sustainable, and meaningful life. Number 2. Greed over generosity. Now let's go a little deeper into one of the most overlooked reasons why some people get rich quickly, but can't seem to hold on to that wealth in the long run. It has to do with the mindset of greed over generosity. When someone becomes consumed by the desire to accumulate more money, more recognition, more possessions without a foundation of ethics or inner reflection, greed quietly takes control. At first, it may not be obvious. The person might feel powerful, successful, even admired. But underneath that shine, something starts to decay. Instead of practicing dana, the Buddhist principle of generosity, they begin to hoard, to take more than they give, to look at others as tools rather than people. And the wealth that's built on this kind of energy, no matter how big it gets, becomes fragile like a tree growing tall with hollow roots. So ask yourself, what is the purpose of your success? Is it only for you to enjoy, or is it something you can use to uplift others too? In Buddhist wisdom, generosity is not just about giving money, it's about sharing what you have, whether it's your time, your kindness, your knowledge, or your resources. It's the antidote to greed, and it creates punya, or merit, a kind of spiritual wealth that brings long-term stability, trust, and peace of mind. The Buddha once said, "If beings knew, as I know, the results of giving and sharing, they would not eat without having given." This isn't just about morality, it's practical advice. Generosity builds relationships, it earns respect, it creates networks of support, and most importantly, it keeps your heart light and your mind clear. But when greed dominates, it leads people to spend recklessly to impress others, to cut ethical corners for more profit, or to ignore the suffering they might be causing along the way. And as we've all seen, this kind of wealth doesn't last. It collapses under the weight of its own selfishness. Even if the money remains, the joy, the purpose, and the connection to others begin to fade. So here's something worth reflecting on. Are you becoming richer on the outside, but poorer on the inside? Are you measuring success only by your bank account, or also by the lives you've touched and the good you've done? In today's world, where competition is fierce and comparison is constant, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we have to get ahead no matter what. But true prosperity is different. It's quieter, it's steadier, it's generous by nature. And when your wealth is built on a foundation of giving rather than taking, it becomes a blessing not just for you, but for everyone around you. The key lesson here is simple but powerful. Greed creates instability, while generosity creates sustainability. If you want your success to last, anchor it in compassion. Use your gains to serve something greater than yourself. Remember that when you give from the heart, you're not losing anything. You're planting seeds that will grow into peace, goodwill, and lasting abundance. Number 3. Karma and its ripening. Now let's take a moment to explore something deeper, something many people overlook when they talk about wealth, success, and why some fortunes vanish as quickly as they appear. I'm talking about karma, and not just in the way it's often misunderstood. Karma isn't some distant concept tied only to past lives or mystical forces. Karma is happening right now, in this life, through every thought we think, every action we take, and every intention that guides us. You see, if someone gains wealth through deception, through harming others, manipulating systems, or simply putting their self-interest above all else, they are planting seeds that may grow quickly, but they grow without stability. Just because something looks successful on the outside doesn't mean it's built to last on the inside. Have you ever seen a giant tree fall in a storm and then realized its roots were shallow? That's how karma works. It's not just about the results you see now, but the foundation that lies underneath. The Buddha taught, whatever action is done with a pure mind, happiness follows like a shadow that never leaves. But the opposite is also true. Actions rooted in greed, deceit, or harm will bring consequences, even if they appear profitable in the short term. So here's a question worth asking. How are you making your money? Are your actions aligned with truth, with kindness, with respect for others? Or are you chasing gain at the cost of your peace, your integrity, or someone else's well-being? Karma ripens in its own time, and when it does, it doesn't miss. You may know people who rose quickly, got rich, became known, but then suddenly lost it all, not because the money disappeared, but because the karma behind it was unstable. They couldn't sleep, they lost trust, they became consumed by fear or guilt, or the people around them no longer respected them. This is why true wealth is not just measured by numbers in a bank account, but by the quality of one's life, the purity of one's actions, and the peace in one's heart. So let me ask you, what kind of future are you building with the choices you make today? In a world that constantly pushes for faster, bigger, and louder, can you pause and ask if the roots of your success are strong? Because the truth is, karma is always working, always recording, and always ripening. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be aware. The good news is that every moment is a chance to plant new seeds, to shift your actions, to choose honesty, generosity, and mindfulness. And when you do, the wealth you build, no matter how long it takes, will have something far more valuable than just money. It will have meaning, it will bring peace, and it will last. So remember this: quick success built on shaky karma may rise like a flame, but it will burn out just as fast. But a life built on right intention and compassionate action, that's the kind of wealth that even time cannot destroy. If this message has touched something deep within you, take a moment to reflect and share your thoughts. Comment below with "Rooted Wealth" to affirm your commitment to building success on a strong foundation of integrity, mindfulness, and compassion. When we choose to grow with awareness, we don't just gain wealth, we gain peace, purpose, and trust that lasts. Let this be your reminder: true abundance begins with the seeds you plant today. Number 4. Not understanding enough. Let's now turn to one of the most subtle yet powerful reasons why some people get rich quickly, but can't seem to sustain that wealth. It lies in not understanding what enough truly means. In Buddhist teachings, there's a beautiful word for this kind of inner peace and balance: santuti, or contentment. Contentment doesn't mean giving up your dreams or settling for less. Rather, it means knowing the point at which more no longer adds value to your life, and may even begin to take something away. When people come into money quickly through sudden business success, inheritance, or market luck, they often get caught in a cycle of endless striving. Without taking the time to pause and reflect, they forget to ask a vital question: what is enough for me? This simple question is rarely asked in today's society, because we live in a world where success is measured by accumulation: more cars, more followers, more digits in the bank account. But the Buddha warned that craving is a fire, and without awareness, it can consume everything in its path. As he said, "There is no fire like desire, no crime like hatred, no sorrow like separation, no sickness like hunger of the heart." When we do not understand enough, we become addicted to growth for its own sake, unable to rest and never satisfied. This isn't just a spiritual concept, it's something we see all the time in modern life. Maybe you've known someone who seemed to have it all but couldn't stop working, investing, or expanding until stress, burnout, or broken relationships caught up with them. They weren't bad people, they just never defined what enough looked like. And without that definition, the line always keeps moving. You reach one goal and the next one is already pulling at your heels. This is why many who get rich fast end up exhausted, isolated, or lost. They confuse wealth with well-being and more with meaning. There's a well-known quote by Socrates that echoes Buddhist wisdom. "He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have." The lesson here is not to reject wealth, but to build a conscious relationship with it. Ask yourself, at what point does more stop making me happier? What am I sacrificing in pursuit of things I don't even have time to enjoy? True success includes knowing your limits, not the limits of your potential, but the limits of what your soul truly needs. When you learn to be content, you make room for peace, clarity, and joy to enter your life. You also begin to use wealth wisely, not as a way to fill a void, but as a tool to support what truly matters. So as you walk your path, whether you're building a career, a business, or a legacy, don't just ask how much you can achieve, ask what enough means to you. Number 5. External wealth without inner wealth. Let's now explore one of the most important but often overlooked reasons why some people get rich quickly but struggle to sustain that wealth. It's the difference between external wealth and inner wealth. Many people, especially in our fast-paced, image-driven world, focus only on the things they can show: the money in the bank, the car they drive, the house they live in, the title on their business card. These things aren't bad, they're often the results of effort and skill, but the problem begins when they become the only definition of success. Outer wealth is visible, measurable, and often admired, but it's also fragile. It can come and go with a market crash, a failed venture, or even a single mistake. That's why true and lasting success must include something deeper: inner wealth. What is inner wealth? It's the strength of character, the calmness in difficult times, the wisdom to make good decisions, the patience to wait for the right moment, the generosity to give even when you don't have to. As the Buddha said, "Though one may conquer 1,000 men in battle 1,000 times, the one who conquers himself is the greatest of warriors." This inner wealth is what allows you to remain steady when external things fall apart. So let me ask you directly, what are you doing to grow your inner wealth as you build your outer one? Are you investing in patience and wisdom the same way you invest in stocks and properties? Because when external wealth fades, and it always does, sooner or later only your inner values will carry you forward. Maybe you've seen people who lose money but never lose their dignity, or those who walk away from a failed business with clarity, kindness, and resilience. That's not luck, that's the result of inner cultivation. On the other hand, we've also seen people with millions who live in fear, isolation, or restlessness because they have everything except peace. This is why we must ask not just how much we're gaining, but who we're becoming along the way. Are you becoming wiser, kinder, more at ease with yourself? These questions matter because the world will always change, success will come and go, but your inner qualities are what give meaning to everything you experience. So here's the message. Don't just grow rich on the outside, grow deep on the inside. Develop the qualities that no one can take from you. Build a wealth that doesn't disappear with a crisis, a recession, or someone else's opinion. The Buddha taught that the greatest victory is the mastery of the self, and in today's world, That message couldn't be more relevant. True prosperity comes when you combine outer success with inner clarity, and that is the kind of wealth that stays with you for life. As we've seen, true prosperity isn't just about lucky numbers or financial gain. It's about the way we live, the clarity of our intentions, and the harmony between our outer wealth and inner peace. These 6 sacred numbers for Saturday, the 9th of August, 2025, are more than symbols of luck. They are gentle reminders to walk with joy, courage, balance, awareness, trust, and compassion. When we align our actions with wisdom and generosity, abundance naturally follows, not just in our wallets, but in our hearts. So take what you've learned today and use it mindfully. Reflect on the deeper lessons and ask yourself, what kind of wealth am I really seeking? Because the richest life is one that's lived with meaning. If this video brought you insight or inspiration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom. And be sure to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming teachings and mindful reflections. Until next time, may you walk in peace, live with purpose, and always remember, contentment is the greatest wealth.